Pepsi.
Fool! You just get off.
What you hungry, man?
You're the king of this. Like how what are the king of burgers.
Taste rules your way at Burger King. The best tasting burgers under the...
Hello and welcome to Final Whistle. I'm Spencer Darlington. The wait is over and the teams have been decided. It's going to be Argentina versus France in the grand finale on Sunday. That final will take place and that's what everyone is looking forward to at this point, December 18. And only one team will walk away with the World Cup trophy. Who will it be? That's the big question at this stage. So we just saw the remaining semi-final, France, the defending champions, remaining on course to defending their title, beating Morocco 2-0. With me, coach and the technical director of Humberland, Andrew Price. And we have also got the former reggae girl player, Sharona Forrester. She has been here from day one, from the get-go. Assistant coach at FC Cincinnati 2, Shavar Thomas, is very much here as well. And also technical director at Campion College, Eric Rademacher. We have also been joined on Zoom by assistant coach at UMSAL, Miguel Coley, all the way in Qatar. It's midnight in Qatar. And Miguel, we want to say welcome once again. Now then, the final, as we said, very much set. Andrew, let me start with you. France beating Morocco 2-0. It is the final. If we say it's a dream final, I mean it's a final many persons want to see two heavyweight teams in the final, France and Argentina. But Morocco, their fairy tale run really fizzled out today. What resulted in that? I noticed, first of all, a lot of persons would notice they went in with 5 at the back, Andrew, and pretty much all of you seem to think the coach blundered there tactically, deviated from a plan which would have been working for him coming into this match?
Yes, I believe that he wanted to protect his captain, Sass, and because of that he played with 3 central defenders because he knew it wasn't 100%. But I am of the thinking that if your central defender is not 100% fit against a marauding France offensive lineup, I wouldn't play him any at all. I would stick to the regular 4-man back 4 that he has played and trusted for the entire World Cup and has done so well, and only conceded 1 goal, which was an own goal by one of his own players. Then I would have gone back to that 4-1-4-1 formation. So it was surprising to see them play in a 5-3-1 formation today, and I think that was where they were undone because they didn't have enough in the middle of the park to combat with the French team.
Yeah, Saiss, who came off on a stretcher after the Portugal match, their last game, he eventually came off today after 20 minutes, and Amala, the substitute himself, was substituted. Taking those into consideration, Andrew, are you saying or thinking that had the coach done otherwise, had he stuck with the formula, which would have worked coming into this contest, the outcome might have been different?
It might have been, they could have been a little bit more competitive, especially in the middle of the park, which I think that's where they really lost the game. I believe that if they had more numbers in the park, they'd be able to defend with those 2-4 blocks that they have done so brilliantly well with all the way to carry them to the semi-finals. But not having that 2 blocks there really limited them and gave France a lot of opportunity in the middle of the park.
Shavar, the Moroccans I thought they weren't really overrun today. They stepped up the tempo a bit. They started to come into life towards the end of the first half, and in the second half I saw certainly more urgency from them.
Most definitely. That's because after the only mistake they really made was by starting the captain, and they lapsed and France took the opportunity. When they took the captain out and went back to their normal formation, you saw a bit of familiarity, because when you change the formation, you also change roles and functions of players, and that could cause a lot of things. And, they came into their own in the latter part of the second half, and they looked the brighter team. I would say they got the better chances, but in front of the goal and in and around the box, they just need some more quality.
Yeah, Sharona, a 1-0 cushion is by no stretch of the imagination any comfort zone. And at one stage, France looked a little vulnerable when Morocco stepped up the tempo. And then France got a second goal and really closed out the show. The Moroccans, it was a good run, though, and we've got to give them some credit. But you got the impression this is pretty much the furthest that they could have gotten.
Most definitely. When you look at it's a tournament, and the teams with depth
have that as an advantage to begin with. The French, they got to rest, play their B-side against Tunisia, and that has helped them tremendously. So the legs are fresher. And most of the players for Morocco play most of the games and most of that 90 minutes, and they're humans. Quick turnaround time, 2 days rest, not enough. They're humans, and they're also getting knocks. So you have one man ban up, and he gets substituted by another man that's also ban up.
Yeah.
So it's like the coach is between a rock and a hard place. However, I do agree that you don't change something that is working. The injured person that you're trying to compensate for is now like an added player for the French team. Like a cone. He was really like a cone in that middle, in the middle of the park, at the back, which is such a crucial area. We spoke about tinkering with the back line, and you need that chemistry, and they weren't looking the same. But the French team, we spoke about it yesterday, about going down that middle, and they did just that.
Yeah, Eric, at certain points during the game, I thought they had kept Mbappe pretty quiet. He wasn't as marauding, but he showed up his credentials at other stages during the game. So Morocco should have gotten, or would have gotten some credit for doing that. But in the end, though, the depth, as Sharona spoke about, and the class, the difference in class came to the fore.
Yeah, you could see that. I do want to go back. I somewhat disagree with Sharona that I do think when we look back at the game, they did have chances to get a result here today. I think what I admired about Morocco is the mindset of every player on the field for the entire tournament in being disciplined in their task, in their roles. And yes, maybe it changed a little bit with the 5-man backline, but I think it's El Yamik who came in as that third centre-back. When we look at that first goal, he tried to win the ball from Griezmann there and loses that 1v1 with Griezmann that eventually results into a chaotic defense that trying to make up. And I think that the mindset that everybody has had is we don't have to go and win every ball. We just have to keep them away from our goal and keep them away from goal-scoring opportunities. And this is a one moment, I think, if he keeps that same defensive discipline, stays behind Griezmann, lets Amrabat in the midfield apply that double pressure, you prevent that goal. And I think when we look at the remainder of the game, Morocco had plenty of chances. And I don't think it was a 1 or 2 counter-attacks this time. They actually were able to play nice ball against France. So yes, the depth is there. Yes, quality difference is there. You see how Mbappe can, when he turns it on, how he can lure 4 men in the penalty box.
He can be frightening.
But I think when we look over at the game, Morocco can come down and say if we were better in a few moments, then we could have had a result here today.
Yeah, Miguel, a lot of talk about the tactical approach of the Moroccans going in with 5 at the back. What's your take on that based on what the coach would have done today?
Well, I was a bit surprised that the captain started, and the back 5. I think in one game in the extra time he went to a back 5. When in that case Ben Noon, he came in. He plays in Qatar club here. So a good defender also. So I was surprised the captain started based on the details I was hearing. However, they wanted to really keep the French team or the scoreline at 0 as long as possible. However, we cannot overlook what the French team did. They basically built up with a 3-4-3, which would put 3 players in the central role. Mbappe was playing inside, Griezmann step up as a winger, and they were getting balls in those middle passages. And even the first goal, the Moroccan team, they're not used to players coming at them through the middle. They used to dictating where the team played to the side, especially when they play the block 4, the 4-5-1 inside there. They normally dictate where the team go. But this French team, what they did was having 2 midfielders, Fofana and Tchouaméni inside, and trying to play break the lines where you had Griezmann, you had Giroud and Mbappe. And I think that regardless of what system they played, that whole approach that the coach applied was always going to be difficult for them. Now, if you notice as the game go by, the coach had to take out Giroud and put Mbappe, because what happened? On the right-hand side, they were creating a lot of overloads. And it seemed as the game go by, maybe they would have gotten a goal, especially with Mbappe not going back. But a good tactical match from both coaches. I know Walid, he coached Duhail here about 2 years ago. He's a very ultra defensive coach. And you see today that Morocco team, they can play football. But if you notice before, they counterplay, they have 23%, 30% of the ball. Today, they maybe have majority of the ball, but a good overall game. I am happy for the finals for football because I got a little bit, although I was carrying Morocco, but I got a little bit tired of watching a team defend the whole game. So for the finals, it will be a spectacle.
Yes, some really great points you made there, Miguel. In fact, you hit the nail on the head saying you got a bit tired. I was saying to Shavar in the dressing room that it felt a bit subdued and he felt they were sort of boring. It's a brand of football they play. Probably persons came expecting an attractive match like what we saw in the other semi-final. But when you look at their key players, Miguel, and how they would have gone about business for Morocco from the start of the tournament, people like Ziyech and Hakimi, they were pretty sort of nullified in the first half. What sort of plan B you think the coach could have shifted to at that point, even though, as you rightly said, can be an ultra-defensive-minded coach?
Well, I don't think they were. I think they had very good moments, especially but Touchameni did a very good job in terms of supporting Hernandez in the backline, and also Kanut. They did very well when you see the overlapping of Ziyech and Hakim overlapping him. It was creating a lot of problems. Buffal on the opposite side, as I said, if he could play 80 minutes very strong, he also can be dangerous. But to make a little bit different, I think he should have probably getting more balls into the striker. Especially creating the free kick. Especially Kanut is coming out wide to compensate for Mbappe not coming back. Maybe when he played to Ziyech, his pass was supposed to go inside the middle and just change it up a little bit. But it was a little bit predictable. Hakimi overlapping or going we call interlap inside that area and providing a cross. I think the French team was basically set up for that, although they got some half chance. But I think they could have gone a little bit more to the middle. Especially what they did when what's his name, Hamdallah came on in the second half, late second half.
Yeah, Amala, Andrew, some coaches can be stubborn and predictable, like a Gareth Southgate, even Klopp. Other coaches can be unpredictable, and you like to use the term horses for courses. Let's look at the starting lineup France put out today. Rabiot and Upamecano were out, and they brought in Konate and Fofana. Would that have taken the Moroccans a little by surprise, or it speaks more to the flexibility of Didier Deschamps?
No, it just shows again the depth that the French team had. I mean, when you think about going into this tournament, they lost about 3 of their frontline players. They lost Benzema on the eve. Yeah. I mean, no Pogba, no Kante, yet they still have a deep enough squad where you bring in somebody like a Fofana in a big semi-final of a World Cup and he goes there and plays a very good game. Konate came in today, and for me, I believe he was the man of the match for me. I mean, he was defending all the time, clearing all the time, winning headers, tracking people. I think he had a wonderful game. He didn't play the last game, came in and he didn't miss a beat. So it just shows the depth of the French team. I think the Morocco team lacked a lot of quality in the final third. They got a lot of opportunities, but they didn't make use of them. And when you're in the final third, you have to make use of those opportunities. France got a couple of opportunities. Giroud hit the post once. Mbappe missed very close on. So you have to have that quality in the final third. And I think that was what the Moroccans were lacking today. And the French were just a cut above. They didn't get as much chances as the Moroccans, but they looked more threatening whenever they got anywhere into the final third. So, yes, I think that was the difference in the game today.
Yeah, and the replacements who came in, Shavar, this is certainly what you want to see now approaching the final, really stepping up and delivering what the coach would have wanted. Let's talk about the approach of the French in today's game.
No, I mean, it was superb. I mean, the changes that he makes, the guys who come on, Koulibaly, you see him coming on, getting his goal. They didn't miss a beat. As opposed to when you watch other team, you watch the English team play, it's like the same front line, the same changes. Even Koeman didn't play today. Mm-hmm. Come in a couple of games before, the coach made a decision. He's watching the game, he's making tactical decisions, and it's superb.
Yeah,
very good to watch.
Yeah, and as Andrew liked to say, horses for courses. We're going to take another break. We're discussing the last semi-final, which just ended at the World Cup. France beating Morocco 2-0 and staying on course to retaining their title. What a crackerjacker of a final it's going to be on Sunday France versus Argentina. We take a break and come back with more.
Final Whistle brought to you by Digicel, Grace, Pepsi, and Burger King.
Fool! You just get what? What you hungry, man? They're the king of this. Like how what are the king of burgers? You see when Burger King goes so boom, and they make the beef patty well seasoned up and put it on the open flame, then them go so juicy pickles, tomatoes, freshly cut onions, crispy lettuce, classic. Every other burger still stuck at square one.
Babe!
3 juicy whopper, right on time.
Taste rules your way at Burger King, the best tasting burgers under the sun.
Grace Foods got the taste that moves you. Yard and abroad, it moves you. Grace Foods, the taste that moves you. Feel the vibes and the time of the day. Grace Foods from the inside. The taste that moves you. From the spices move you. Everybody shout out Grace. When the food sweet, we dance. When the vibe nice, we love. The taste that moves you. Grace bringing the food you love.
Grace has the taste that everyone loves. That's why when we move with Grace.
Because it's the season of giving, enjoy enough pickings this Christmas with a chance to pick and win your share of over 16 million in cash and prizes. Plus, get 25% off a 7 or 28-day Prime Brota bundle in the My Digicel app today. Enter to pick and win with Digicel this Christmas.
Final Whistle brought to you by Digicel, Grace, Pepsi, and Burger King.
Welcome back to Final Whistle, and before we introduce and bring on our young analyst Liam Henriquez, let's join the Maverick, who is somewhere out there on the go. Maverick, take it away.
Okay, I told you. I want the final whistle. All the final whistle viewers, guess where the scooter carried the Maverick today? Eh? In fact, I'm going to give you a clue. The scooter could not take me where I am today. Yes. I'm in an elevated position, yeah, looking across at the Kingston Harbor, yeah, down by the wharf. And when I look further afield, further in my backdrop, I can see across the wider downtown Kingston, looking all the way up, almost so, in fact, I can see the TVJ Tower. Yes, I can see the TVJ Tower. I got you. The Maverick is right here on spot, yeah, at the Digicel headquarters in downtown Kingston. It's at 14 Ocean Boulevard, and I am, imagine me have a park the scooter downstairs. I am on the 10th floor. It's a nice paved area, a nice comfortable, relaxing area with some. This is where the Digicel staff come for cool out when they want to cool out, or where the Maverick come to take a view of the city. But anyway, the finalists have been decided. France versus Argentina coming up on Sunday. Can't believe the World Cup coming to an end already. It feels like it just started. But anyway, as we said, we are at the Digicel headquarters. It's a picturesque view. It's also a picturesque building. The building is called the Digicel Delves Building. Yeah, as I said, it's a pretty expansive structure, massive building. As we said, we have a part of the scooter downstairs, and we have to walk upstairs. All right, no, sorry, we took the elevator. I'm sorry. All right, I have with us, I have a couple of Digicel officials with us, and I want to talk to them. Orion Aiken, the first of those officials. Come here, my boss. Looking all decked out in his Nuff Pickings shirt and all of that. All right, you are a marketing executive here at Digicel. All right. World Cup 2022. How have you been enjoying the spectacle?
I mean, it's been a great World Cup so far. A lot of shockers, you know. Boy, my side drop out, which I never expect to happen. I mean, Brazil. I won Brazil, but hey, it is what it is. A lot of other big names have dropped out as well. But I mean, it's right now. It's actually we're going looking forward to the finals on Sunday. I mean, France and Argentina. Good final. Yeah, it's supposed to be a good final.
I'm a little bit curious. I'm a Brazil man myself. I must admit that. But people have been berating me for being a Brazil fan or not minding Messi win a World Cup title. Where you stand as a Brazil fan yourself?
Boy, it really hard to admit as a Brazil fan say you want Argentina to win so, but I mean Messi has done a lot this World Cup, undeniably. I mean he's bringing the country and the team on the back, and hey, right now I can understand why a lot of people would actually want him to win still, but fully deserved. But I can tell you, I figure that on Sunday it's definitely going to be a difficult finals for either team. Yeah, but you know, if Messi wins this, you know, it pretty much puts an end to this whole GOAT debate, right? You know, so that's probably one of the main reasons why most people probably want him to win.
All right, I see you have on this conspicuous-looking T-shirt. Nuff Pickings. What is this? Nuff Pickings this Christmas. What's all this about, my brother?
All right, so Nuff Pickings is our Christmas campaign, right? So it allows our Digicel customers to win cash and prizes when they play in the Pick and Win feature in the My Digicel app. Now, the daily prizes in the Pick and Win feature especially includes, you know, anything from gas vouchers to electricity vouchers, you know, things that are meaningful in this day and age, right? And then on top of it, you get entries into the weekly and the grand draw, where you can actually win smartphones like a S22 Ultra, and then even the grand prize draw, which is $2 million in cash and prizes, free electricity for a year, and free.
Quickly, how you qualify?
Simple. Just go into the My Digicel app. You make sure you're on an active Prime Bundle plan. Click the Pick and Win, and just select everything. Yeah.
You think winning is that simple?
Well,
Big up yourself. All right, we have also with us Mr. Chevron Lewis. Did I pronounce him
correctly? You need a KC armband, you know?
the videographer has the armband. All right. You are, what's your position here at Digicel?
Junior brand manager.
Right, you're the junior brand manager for Digicel. All right. I asked you the same question I asked my colleague. Your thoughts on the World Cup, how did your team do? First of all, generally, your thoughts on the World Cup and how did the team you support did?
So my thoughts on the World Cup, this was a very good and interesting World Cup. Just in the overall performance, it's show you what we really love, the beautiful of football where teams like Japan, South Korea, so they're, you know, they were all, you don't want to talk about the Moroccan because the Morocco take on my side. But just to show you that it was anybody's game, you know, at the end, you know, I'm carrying France for the finals because can't have, you know, we need France to just do the dirt and just win back to back. But it's a very good World Cup, very interesting, one of the best that we've seen in a long while. And sorry, say Portugal drop out early, but Portugal drop out because they benched the baller.
Hold on. You mentioned you can't have the GOAT have anything over your GOAT. Explain that a little bit more for the television audience.
So, Lionel Messi, 35 years of age, he have done it all in his career along with Cristiano Ronaldo. If he wins the World Cup, that's the one over him, and the GOAT argument done. So you're going to know who is the real GOAT at the end of it.
All right, and you want to keep the GOAT debate going, right?
I don't really want to keep the GOAT debate going. I just want my GOAT up on top, you know?
All right, just to clarify that, there can only be one GOAT. One single solitary GOAT, because the GOAT means the greatest of all time. But in the meantime, and between time, from the Digicel building, and I'm ensuring we are 10 floors up. So it's when the Maverick on the go this time, I'm not going to run that way. I can assure you I'm not going to run that way because I'll be falling 10 floors down. But guess what? The Maverick has got to go because it's the Maverick on the go!
Thank you very much, Maverick. And, well, we're going to talk about the GOAT on and on and on. That argument, you know, will be settled on Sunday for sure. Let me say good afternoon to our colleague, Karen Madden. What a day to get a day off. Nice day. She supports France, and France won, and are into the final. Sit back at home, have some nice drink and food, and watch your team advance. What better way to do it. Now, Liam Henriquez has joined us. And Liam, yesterday, you predicted that this game, you thought this second semi would have gone into extra time. Is it then that France weren't required to hit a higher gear, or Morocco, which I think pretty much happened, they just plateaued and got to a point where you say a team buck and can't go any further?
No, I think he definitely could have seen this game go to extra time. You know, obviously France scored early. And it was interesting to see how Morocco get back into the game, you know, because they have only conceded one goal before, which is an own goal, and they have never, you know, trailed in a game before that. So, but they surprised me. They came out and they had a lot of the ball, you know, created chances, but were not great in the final third. You know, and that goes back to the rest of their tournament, you know, against Spain and Portugal, especially Spain. They had a bunch of chances, and Syria had a lot more chances to score more goals, and it caught up to them today. You know, they never took their chances. They never got the ball to end the series. You know, there weren't much aerial balls for him to, you know, use his ability to jump to get the ball in the back of the net. And new number 9 came on, and you know, we heard the commentators talking. Should have taken that shot. Had probably 3 chances to take that shot, and I think, you know, they're definitely proud of themselves to get so far. But I feel like they definitely feel they could have got more out of this game.
Absolutely, I agree with you. They deserve a lot of credit and should be proud. I don't know how they will get themselves up for the third place playoff. How motivating will it be? Which team will be more motivated? Because what you really want, Andrew, is the big prize. But you know, Andrew, what is interesting is, and listening to almost every John Brown and Mary Black about this World Cup, they're saying, oh, the World Cup is so nice, it's great. But before this, we heard a Winter World Cup would not have been nice. Qatar can't host this World Cup. They're too small. But it has turned out to be otherwise, huh?
Well, they've put on a show, and I must say this has been one of the most exciting World Cups that I have witnessed in my lifetime. I think they've put on an excellent show. The crowds have been massive. They have really enjoyed themselves. They have gotten involved in the game. I mean, they've put on a monumental show down there in Qatar, and you know, we just want to see a grand finals come Sunday with 2 of the better teams in the world, France and Argentina. Mbappe versus the great Messi. Not a good conversation, but 2 great players who are X-factor players. Let's see who shines.
Sometimes, you know, finals can be anticlimactic because teams come out being tense, don't want to lose, and you don't get that attractive brand of football that you want. But based on what you saw from France today, Andrew, and I said it to Liam earlier, is it that they weren't required to change gear? Is it that they were subdued in some segments of the match? Or Morocco just hit their high point and couldn't go any further?
I think France really managed the game well. And when you think about it, they weren't really pushed by the Moroccan team. You know, I think they managed the game well, and they just did enough. I told people from in the first round that this France team looks like a team that wants to defend its title, and they have continued on their merry way. They have played their games. I mean, they have only lost 1 game where they made about 9 changes. Otherwise, they haven't really misstepped throughout the entire competition. And they showed like they're a team on a mission. And that's why I think Sunday's game is going to be so exciting. There's so much that's going to be on the line. I think Giroud is proving his worth and the trust that the coach has put in him. He has been playing very well. Griezmann has had an excellent World Cup. I think he played well again today, coming back in defense, clearing balls out of the penalty box for his team. I think he has been all over the park. So I'm really looking forward to an excellent game come Sunday.
You spoke about depth, Andrew, and Griezmann has really been bossing up the middle for France throughout this World Cup, has been having an outstanding tournament. Wasn't getting a lot of action for Atletico Madrid until that contractual scenario was sorted out. And the players who came in, when we heard that Pogba and Kante were out, persons who support France got very, very concerned. But look at the players who came in, Chouameni and Rabiot. Have been outstanding so far.
Definitely, and I think you could see that France missed Rabiot today, man. He was definitely missing there. I mean, Fofana put in a good shift, but I believe Rabiot was missed today. And I believe that he'll be ready for the finals. You know, after giving up playing the semi-finals, I know he'll be ready to have that combination between him and Chouameni come Sunday. So they have depth, and we have to give the French coach, Deschamps, a lot of credit. He has a lot of players that he can choose for. He makes changes based on the assessment of how the game is flowing. He doesn't just make automatic changes or put in a left fullback for a left fullback. The only time he did that was when Lucas Hernandez got injured, and his brothers come in, stepped in from the very first game, and hasn't missed a beat, and scored a fantastic goal today. So this French team, they want to defend their title, and it's going to be very difficult to pry it away from them.
As I said then, Rabiot and Upamecano were out of the lineup today. We got some reports about a bout of flu in the French camp, but you are saying, Andrew, if you were the Deschamps, you want your players to be soldiers, get out there and play. This is a semi-final, you're saying.
Of course, I want them to be there, but if they don't want to be there, well, then let them stay home and watch the game and enjoy it. They might not even play in the finals, but definitely a flu won't stop me from playing a semi-finals.
What if the players have confidence in the reserve to say, okay, I'm not 100%.
Yes.
He can get the job done. What do you think?
That's what you would have done
that's a
if
problem.
you reach semi-final of a World Cup and you have the flu.
No, I mean,
Even if you
I'm
trust
the
your
captain,
teammate,
so I'm gonna be there.
Nah, I'm gonna give it up. Like size, like size. It must have been some.
But it shows the depth of the French team. You know, I mean, losing two of your frontline players, and you still have players who can step in and play the role, and they did enough to get to the finals.
What I also want to pay keen attention to is, and give an extra star to the French coach, is that when you have players who already know that I'm a reserve, and when they come in, they don't skip a beat, they're still carrying it, and that comes from good leadership. You know, him putting his arm around them and say, okay, this is your job description, this is what the team want from you. Yes. And they just buy into it, and it shows right throughout the squad.
Yeah, Miguel, the discussion or argument about depth, very, 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 very important. Some teams were stretched, and when I look at the Moroccan team, they were so patched up and strapped up. I thought they were going to run out of tapes and strapping and kinesia tape in Qatar, or maybe you would have had to supply them with some over there, Miguel. On the other hand, France having depth, which is important for a tournament where you go and build up to that crescendo from day one onto this end of the tournament, Miguel.
Yeah, depth is always important. To win any tournament, you need depth because you need players who can come in and change the game, who are game changers. And France had that today. Many persons were surprised not to see a Coman coming on. You see Thuram coming on, being the first change. But it goes down to the tactical ability of the coach. Not like my friend teacher who put on players like this. But what you notice is that the French team, the Moroccan team, they're very tall, and I think the French coach realized that those crosses from Ziyech was very, very dangerous. So rather than going to Coman, who's about 5'10", 5'11", he went for Thuram, who is about 192, which is a 6'4". His second change also, he brought on what's his name, Randall Koulibaly. This player is about 6'2". So you can see his thought process, knowing that the Moroccan team would be dangerous, especially from the set pieces. The corners, they were dangerous. From the free kicks, they were dangerous. So you see a lot of thinking. But happy for Deschamps, he has the depth. I believe Morocco has some amount of depth too, because although they lost, the defender, they brought a lot of defenders with them. Also, you saw the like of Ezzat Zoli. He's from Osasuna, a Barcelona player. I think he has about 200 million clause for them to buy. So he's a very talented player. You saw Hamdallah, he didn't play in many of the game. He came on today because the coach, as I said, is ultra defensive. He brought on a more defensive striker in most of the game to close the game. But I think both teams had some level of depth, but in the midfield, I think it was where Morocco was short on changes, and you saw in some moments because of this the France team got the better of them.
Yeah, I really liked what you said there, Miguel, about the level of flexibility and the tactical approach of Didier Deschamps. It is this level of flexibility I like about some coaches, and as you rightly said, not as stubborn as the Brazil coach or even the England coach. We're going to take another break. When we come back, we'll show you the bracket, the third place playoff, and the grand finale, and we'll open up the phone lines as well, so come back with us for sure.
Final Whistle brought to you by Digicel, Grace, Pepsi, and Burger King.
Because it's the season of giving, enjoy enough pickings this Christmas with a chance to pick and win your share of over 16 million in cash and prizes. Plus, get 25% off a 7 or 28-day Prime Rota bundle in the My Digicel app today. Enter to pick and win with Digicel this Christmas.
Cool. You just get what?
But you more hungry, man.
Me are the king of this. Like how Whopper the king of burgers. You see when Burger King goes so boom and they make the beef patty well seasoned up and put it on the open flame, then them go so juicy pickles, tomatoes, freshly cut onions, crispy lettuce, classic. Every other burger still stuck at square one.
Babe!
3 juicy Whopper right on time.
Taste rules your way at Burger King, the best tasting burgers under the sun.
Grace Foods got the taste that moves you. Yard and abroad, it moves you. Grace Foods, the taste that moves you. Fuel the vibes and the time when the day Grace Foods from the end. Yeah, the taste that moves you. From the spices move you. Everybody shout out Grace.
When the food's sweet, we dance. When the vibe nice, we love. The taste that moves you. Grace bringing the food you love.
Grace has a taste that everyone loves. That's why when we move with Grace.
Make money now with local City and Guilds and ABE endorsed certificates and Distinction College. Start new online and face-to-face classes very soon in our Make Money Now career courses and get qualified jobs worldwide or start your own business in practical pediatric, geriatric, and psychiatric nursing, phlebotomy and pharmacy technician, early childhood education, child care, cashiering, call center, event planning, receptionist, customer service, housekeeping, waitering, food preparation, bartending, cake baking, plumbing, motor vehicle, electrical installation, air conditioning, makeup, hairdressing, nail technician, and cosmetology. No subjects required, no age limit. Register this week and get City and Guilds Maths and English classes for free. Call us at 3564167.
Final Whistle brought to you by Digicel, Grace, Pepsi, and Burger King.
Welcome back to Final Whistle. Of course, you can join our discussion by calling 876-733-2461, and that number goes up to 6. The third place playoff, as we said, will take place on Saturday, and we'll see Croatia playing Morocco. Andrew, how do you get yourself ready for a third place playoff at the World Cup? Because clearly what you came for was to win it, huh?
Your supporters. Your supporters have to be there to spur you on, because it's a game. I call it a nothing game, though it's third place and you're the third best team in the world. But you know, it's like a bridesmaid. You know, you're not actually doing the job of getting married, but you have to attend the ceremony. You have to attend the ceremony. And, you know, I think it's going to be very difficult to get both teams up and motivated to play the game. And I think what more coaches might do is very well give some players that haven't got a lot of playing time some games in this game. You know, it's a game that it's the most boring game in the world. Let's put it that way.
You don't think Morocco would be very happy to walk away with a third place medal?
I am thinking along that line, you know, Shavar.
In years to come and say, we are third place in the world.
Have you created continental history?
I'm sure they'll be happy about it, but I'm just saying.
They're going to be ready. No, they're going to be ready for the game.
The game itself, over the years, has been very boring.
It might be more. Brazil. It might be more because the African team has never been in that position to win that medal. But Netherlands beat Brazil 3-0 in 2014, and every Dutchman can remember is that we lost in the semis to Argentina. Yeah. We don't remember the third place, but we beat Brazil 3-0. I don't care.
I think Moroccans will be proud if they win this third place. Having created continental history by becoming the first African team to get to the semis.
But that doesn't negate, though, Spencer, that the game is not going to be one of those high-quality games. That's never been. A third-place game has never been a high-quality game.
But that's because the person's coming third. It's nothing much for them. They have won before. They want to win it again. But this is their highest point. So they may very well come and switch it up.
I think it's going to be difficult for Ziyech and Hakimi to have the same intensity and motivation towards team as everything. For this place, as these are still world-class players. And I get it. You know, you have going to be players that size at the end of his career say, yo, I want a medal, I want this one. But the motivation is different. And it might actually give a more fun match because it might be a little more open. But the seriousness, that it really matters, like that knockout feeling, it's going to be different,
Miguel, if you're the coach of one of these teams here for Saturday, what do you tell them? Just go there and enjoy, express yourself, or what? Because the Moroccan coach, he wants to land a big contract in Ligue 1. He wants to further improve his credentials here and his resume. What do you tell either team, Miguel?
Definitely. I would want to push them in terms of the history that it comes with. It's about pride, doing it for your country. And, you know, knowing that where they have reached, you know, you're proud of them. You know, they have been awesome, but they're one more step. And what will make the difference, though, is that there's a home crowd. There are many third-place players over the years that they don't have, and I say home crowd because Morocco carry a lot of fans. So that could make it a little bit different, in terms of pushing the players. Because naturally you feel like a sucker of bug juice after losing a semi-final. Game psychological is one of the toughest games you play. So you feel very, very empty. But I'm hoping, the Moroccan people, they come out and support the team as much as possible. Not like former years when you have a semi-final between two teams, which the supporters from each team, don't really come out and support that much. But I know the Moroccan fans will be pushing. For Croatia, I don't know their mindset, no. Losing in the way you see a lot of players complaining about the penalty, like the Maverick, many persons that wasn't penalty. So they're heartbroken. They're definitely heartbroken. But if the Moroccan team step up the pace, I know that the Croatian team can change a gear. So I'm hoping it's an open game. I do really want to see some goals, and I really like to see the Moroccan team with the flair that they have in this game.
Yeah, I can understand where Andrew is coming from, and these are two tired teams now. One, an aging unit in Croatia, Morocco, very tired, and even as we speak now, maybe they are still being strapped up and taped up. So I can understand the perspective you're coming from, that this could be a sort of boring and anticlimactic affair.
Yes, it could be. I mean, like I said, a lot of them will be playing for pride. The World Cup is a shopping window for a lot of players. The January window opens on the 1st of January. So a lot of players want to make that last impression on scouts and agents to see if maybe they can get into another club or a big club. So, people are going to go out there and play the game, but you won't have the type of intensity that you're going to have on Sunday. I guarantee you that.
This January window is going to be ultra exciting, because every second you look, you see players who are being talked about, certain teams who are in the shopping window, and some teams want 4, 5, 6, probably a dozen players by the time the World Cup is over on Sunday. This January window is going to be crazy, Shafar.
Manchester United.
Yes, every time you look, you see Man U's name that they want X, Y, Z player.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big platform, and all the players that's taking part in the World Cup, want to push their stock up, and that's what they've been doing. And this last set of games, that's what it is. If I'm there at the World Cup from the beginning and I'm still there when the last game or the second to last game is going to be played, I'm very proud. Yeah. So with those two teams playing the third place, Croatia and Morocco, they have it all to play for. Croatia older team, they want to go on a joyful ride, and Morocco, team, you see what they have done despite all the odds against them. And they're going through and they're still there. So they have a lot to play for, same way.
There's a lot of discussion, Eric, about the 5 African teams having African coaches and whether or not there is some sort of secrecy to their philosophy and their approach to this, because at times, even when they can't afford it, they go for European coaches. This time, all of them came with African coaches. How much of a factor was that? And with our Morocco, for example, who is such a multinational team, even the coach has dual citizenship.
Yeah, I think overall, not just the African teams, but the smaller countries, the developing countries that don't have the trophy cases that some of the big ones do, they have more access and easier access to quality courses, to coaching education. Even behind the scenes amongst coaches, you see a lot of Zoom sessions even during COVID with courses, and I think there's a lot more knowledge being shared to those parts of the world, and I think those have become very eager as well to learn and be better and implement within the federation. And I think that is a result maybe of some of the football better tactical decisions we see. And I think it's a great thing to have better quality of coaching. Not just the coaching, the administrative staff behind it is a crucial part that maybe we lacked in educating them over the last few decades in those countries. And I think they're catching up, and it does well for them.
Sharona, when the Moroccan coach was appointed just 3 months before the World Cup, rumors started 8 months out when they qualified that he would have replaced the previous coach, and it wasn't gaining much traction. But 3 months before the World Cup kicked off, he was appointed. I read something that said the president of their football federations gave him the mandate, get this team to the round of 16. So this is big bonus for them. You think that will further even motivate them more? Because I'm just trying to wrap my mind around how do you get ready? How do you get up out of bed for this third place playoff?
Well, if there's one thing we must say is that this is a team that knows how to play ban-up. And they play with heart no matter what. They were 1-0 down and they weren't playing like a team that was beaten and out of it. They were still, trying. And I think that part of them it's sort of an intrinsic motivation we're seeing from them. They just met up on better quality, and
Yes.
they didn't take their chances, and that's just how the cookie crumbled for them. But this is their moment, really, to get a third place.
Yeah.
And then the stories on the other side as well, where
And a Rolls Royce.
and a Rolls Royce.
Yes,
And the other
indeed.
story would be coming second and then coming third in consecutive World Cups. So just like the finals, you know, there's so much stories going on and thread.
So
And-
Modric really care about third or fourth at this stage.
but it's not just Modric. The
Perisic, most of them,
Second
I
and
get it.
fourth,
I agree
second
with you.
and
It
third,
does
it-
matter.
it's a little
It does
bit more.
matter.
It's two
But you
medals.
just lost the semis. You know, it matters a year, 2 years from now, but it's difficult mentally. As I don't know who said it, it's the most,
I don't think so
psychologically,
not
it's
for
the
Morocco.
most difficult game to play in your life. You just lost the opportunity for fame forever, and then you have to go down to a match.
But they
that-
still have fame.
Look here, is it necessary to have a
They have
third
that
place
already.
playoff?
For the World Cup, no, I don't.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, look, most teams in the knockout phase, as you lose, pack your bags and go.
I will give the third spot to somebody who has the best record after the losers of the semi. Who loses by the least amount.
Who lost to the winner or something.
Yeah, but I mean,
some
it's a
tiebreaker.
game-
But it's
that
money.
FIFA it's
It's
another,
money.
It's another game that FIFA uses to make some television review and some gate receipts, and people come and watch the game. But believe me, as a player, it's difficult to be motivated after getting through the disappointment of not making a World Cup final.
Oh, how close you would have gotten
Exactly,
to reaching the
you know,
final
so-
already. Let's get to the phone lines. We have Venice from St. Thomas. Venice, good afternoon and welcome to Final Whistle.
Yes, good afternoon.
Go ahead, we're hearing you loud and clear.
Thank you. Yes, I was saying that for the finals, I believe that France are going to take it again. It's going to be a very competitive match, but I feel say France are going to take it. I say drop out still, you know, Brazil. You don't know, one Brazil. But France on the second side.
Uh-huh. So what have you seen from France, Venice, which have made you so convinced that they will get the job done over Argentina come Sunday?
I think that France, they played very tactical. Even though Argentina have them type of play and them formation nice. I feel say France, just with Mbele and Mbappe, they even talk about Griezmann. Like them side, them know what them a do.
Yes.
Like yeah.
Chemistry and
France are going,
cohesion.
man.
Mhm.
They are very, very, very competitive, and them a go feel like them want it.
Yes. It should be a great
so
final.
It's gonna be a great, great final.
Yeah, we hope so. All right, Venice, thank you so much for calling.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, on to the final now, Andrew. Is it that how much of an advantage one team will get an extra day's rest? Is that a big factor?
Big, very big,
How big?
Spencer. It's an additional day rest gives you that much more time to recover. It gives you that much time to be mentally prepared. It gives you that much time to be physically prepared. That extra day is going to be very, very big. And for Argentina, who went into an overtime and penalty kicks against the Netherlands, it's going to be even more important now for that extra day, for that recovery after winning their semi-finals. So it's always an advantage to the team that has that extra day.
I think it could work out because France had a game they didn't really play. You know, the third game, Argentina had to play all their games. Argentina played 120, France deal with it in 90. So it might balance out a little. If it was the other way around, I say it now becomes a real advantage to Argentina. If they would have played 90 minutes and had an extra game rest, and France would have gone 120.
But when you think about
that extra day is crucial in the entire planning and everything.
Should the semi-finals be played on the same day going forward?
Yes, it would. But of course, you have to understand FIFA's commercial effect.
Yes.
You know, they need 2 games. For both television rights, for both getting crowds into the stadium, they need 2 games. But I believe that it's just a luck of a draw. You know, it depends on where you are in the draw. We will decide whether you play the first semi-finals or the second semi-finals. And what happens is that you have to do what you can do best with that advantage. How do you recuperate, rest, and recover for that big game on Sunday?
Quite
I
so.
think right now, Argentina is kicking up their legs now, waiting for the finals.
Alrighty, we have Tooth from St. Anne on the lines now. Tooth, good afternoon and welcome to Final Whistle.
Greetings, man.
Yes, man. Greetings to you too.
Can you hear me?
Yes, man.
Yeah, Yeah, the third place thing, it all depends on which country is playing. If a Brazil did it, it'll be very hard to motivate. But if a team like a smaller nation where they're not expected to reach that in round of 16, then I think it is very important to them. Secondly, question, if Mbappe win his second World Cup title, does you put him in a GOAT argument now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I think Mbappe is young.
But hold on, Spencer. Who has won 2 World Cups before 25? And was MVP and top scorer both of them.
Look here.
Exactly. So shouldn't we put a 24-year-old Pele in the GOAT
We're
competition?
talking about accolades like this. I like to
2
look
World
at
Cups, you know.
Eric, just
You have to look at longevity.
longevity. I like to look at a body of work over a sustained period of time.
That's the word.
When did Mbappe start scoring?
That's
when
the word,
Mbappe
Spencer.
start
Body of
scoring?
work.
Body of work, Eric.
That's the word.
Hold on. I agree with you.
R9 sit on the bench in 1994 and got a medal. That means he won 1994 World Cup?
If he would have won 3,
then.
if he would have won the same amount of spell, they would have counted it the same way, even when he sit on the bench or not. If you look on his resume, it says he won 94 World Cup.
So, Eric, what are you here
and
saying?
Mbappe didn't. No, what I'm saying is.
You want to put Mbappe in this argument?
No, what I'm saying is, Tooth has a very good point that if Mbappe wins this World Cup and scores, so he's top scorer again, and MVP of the final again, and wins the World Cup again, we'll have to look at him that the only thing standing in the way is the longevity of doing it longer.
Correct.
Then he has to go and do that.
No, I get it. But if you win 2, Messi has won 2 World Cups. But we all consider him to be the GOAT, and World Cup is a crucial thing. So he has a very good point. If Mbappe win 2 World Cups before the age of 25,
well, it was a question, though.
We'll have to look at him as a very serious.
Thank you so much for calling, Tooth.
GOAT for the future.
Okay, no problem.
All right, you see what Tooth has caused now?
Yeah, it's a good question, Tooth asked.
It's a good question.
Haven't we been saying he's the best player in the World Cup this year?
Eric, I'm going to come back to you. Let us take a break and come back on Final Whistle.
Final Whistle brought to you by Digicel, Grace, Pepsi, and Burger King.
Fool! You just get what? What you hungry, man? They're the king of this. Like how what are the king of burgers? You see when Burger King goes so boom and they make the beef patty well seasoned up and put it on the open flame, then them go so juicy pickles, tomatoes, freshly cut onions, crispy lettuce, classic. Every other burger still stuck at square one.
Bean!
3 juicy whopper right on time.
Taste rules your way at Burger King, the best tasting burgers under the sun.
Grace Foods got the taste that moves you. Yard and abroad, it moves you. Grace Foods, the taste that moves you. Fuel the vibes and the time when the day Grace Foods from the end. The taste that moves you. From the spices move you. Everybody shout out Grace.
When the food's sweet, we dance. When the vibe nice, we love. The taste that moves you. Grace bringing the food you love.
Grace has the taste that everyone loves. That's why when we move with Grace.
Because it's the season of giving, enjoy enough pickings this Christmas with a chance to pick and win your share of over 16 million in cash and prizes. Plus, get 25% off a 7 or 28-day Prime Brota bundle in the My Digicel app today. Enter to pick and win with Digicel this Christmas.
Make money now with local City and Guilds and ABE and Door certificates and Distinction College. Start new online and face-to-face classes very soon in our Make Money Now career courses and get qualified jobs worldwide or start your own business in practical pediatric, geriatric, and psychiatric nursing, phlebotomy and pharmacy technician, early childhood education, child care, cashiering, call center, event planning, receptionist, customer service, housekeeping, waitering, food preparation, bartending, cake baking, plumbing, motor vehicle, electrical installation, air conditioning, makeup, hairdressing, nail technician, and cosmetology. No subjects acquired, no age limit. Register this week and get City and Guilds Maths and English classes for free. Call us at 3564167.
Final Whistle brought to you by Digicel, Grace, Pepsi, and Burger King.
Welcome back to Final Whistle, and oh, how I would love if we had some more time to talk about at what stage do we insert one Kylian Mbappe into this GOAT argument. But guess what? We have only 3 minutes to work with quickly. All we've got to do now, look at the starting lineups for Sunday. Miguel, that final starting lineups, any changes for either team quickly?
For France or Argentina?
Start with whichever team you want to start with.
Well, maybe in the midfield, Rabiot, if is fit, may come back for France. I think that may be one of the changes the coach probably look at. And also, he will have fresher leg also. For Argentina, I think they will keep the same team. Alvarez was fantastic. The defenders were good. In the midfield, they were good. So I'm expecting only probably one change for the French team, and Argentina to be the same team.
Okay. Andrew?
Yes, I concur. I believe that the Argentine has really gelled and their midfield is well set. I think Alvarez is doing a wonderful job. Their defensive unit, I think they'll continue with that flat back four. And I believe that the only change that the French team will make is Rabiot will overcome the flu and start beside Chouameni in the middle of the park.
Okay, Shavar?
For the French team, I will say the same. Bring Rabiot back. For Argentina, I will bring Acuna back on the left side.
Okay, Sharona?
Yeah, I go with Shavar because they needed. Acuna was very instrumental in the games, and Rabiot also kind of miss him today. So I think those two players coming back in would make a difference.
Yeah, Eric?
I think Lisandro Martinez might be the next one that might be considered to start, but I would say Acuna as well. I think Acuna played very well. I'm a big fan of Tagliafico, but I think Acuna has proven his worth and should get this.
Alrighty. Thank you so much. And we'll put the lid on this edition of Final Whistle. Thank you so much for joining us, and we do invite you to come back with us on Saturday for the third place playoff and the grand finale on Sunday. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Spencer Darlington saying pleasant viewing.
Final Whistle is brought to you by...
Get 25% off a 7 or 28-day Prime Router bundle in the My Digicel app today. Enter to pick and win with Digicel this Christmas.
Nothing moves your vibe, your mood, or your appetite like the taste of grace.
Pepsi.
Fool! You just get what? What you hungry, man? You're the king of this. Like how I are the king of burgers.
Taste rules your way at Burger King, the best tasting burgers under the sun.
Fool! You just get what? What you hungry, man? You're the king of this. Like how I are the king of burgers. You see when Burger King goes so boom and they make the beef patty well seasoned up and put it on the open flame, then them go so juicy pickles, tomatoes, freshly cut onions, crispy lettuce, classic. Every other burger still stuck at square one.
Babe!
3 juicy whopper right on time.
Taste rules your way at Burger King, the best tasting burgers under the sun.
Because it's the season of giving, enjoy enough pickings this Christmas with a chance to pick and win your share of over